Hey guys, it's Folkroot. I'm excited to be back. I'm sorry that it took so long to finally make a video, but honestly, let's get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about the spirits of the Meyerwood tradition and kind of what those spirits look like to me. And I'm just going to be using general terms and names just because I kind of keep the names that I personally use for the spirits, kind of like keeping that fourth power, if you will. But if you know me like closely, like I'll be more than happily to tell you. Like I'm not that big of a gatekeeper. But honestly, let's get right into it. So first, we're going to start off with the Meyer Mother. The Meyer Mother reigns over bloom, rot, decay. She is the green lands that are the swamp. She is where the trees touch the water. She is green. She is life. But she also brings death and decay. For in this tradition, you cannot have one without the other, and that is very essential. She reigns until Hollow Light, which we'll get into that later. That's one of our Sabbats. Based on the name, you might be able to figure out which one that is. She has many Venusian aspects. I would say some traits similar to Aphrodite. She's very beautiful. Her hair flows. She's pale. She's dressed in moss and flowers, mushrooms, decaying bark. She's just one of those spirits that you would work with for resilience, grounding, protection, all sorts of workings related to earth. She can be very helpful in those aspects. Some other aspects that you might want to work with her with is you could even use her in certain malefic workings to bind people. You put them in the earth. And as far as like offerings, I would opt for copper and clay effigies in her honor. Those are some things that I personally do. And for acts of service, I would definitely say foraging for plants, planting plants in her honor, just working with the land, getting to know the local land spirits. That's one of the best things you can do to honor her, in my opinion. So moving on from that, we're going to go straight into the Lady of the Blackwater. She she can be tricky. She's definitely one you don't want to piss off. In my personal experience working with her, if she's pissed off, she might try to drown your ass if you go swimming. So just FYI on that. But she represents the flow of our witch blood in our veins, the current, the mysteries of the deep, dark waters. She is those darker aspects of the swamp that we see. With that, you can honor her by honoring drowned victims. You can... What else did I write? Oh, keeping a black bowl with water. Personally, I feel like that's the easiest, is what I do. And just having a bowl of water with... a black bowl filled with water. And you could also put like a silver coin in there, or maybe some different types of flowers, or even some blueberries. But just keep in mind that might mold eventually. So... just word to the wise. She loves offerings of seaweed, blue lotus, and again, blueberries. You could even do blackberries as well. Just anything that's like deeply blue, violet, kind of relates to grief, sadness, kind of those watery aspects. She's definitely in my opinion, some Neptune vibes, for sure. And then we'll go on to, since this fits in, water shades. Water shades are restless spirits that are trapped on the realms of this plane. With that being said, since they are restless, they can be a little tricky, but they can be very beneficial to work with if you approach them with caution and kind of just do divination. I can't stress that enough. Do divination if you're going to work with any spirit first. Excuse me. But they love offerings of coins. They love offerings of meals at the water's edge, willow, lilies, graveyard dirt, all of the above. Some things you can work with them for is just like if you need help with like spirit work in general, or trance work, death work, any sort of things. And they are really great to work with during Samhain too, of course. One thing that I've always kind of known and felt with water shades is that like when you walk by the water and sometimes you feel like someone's like calling your name, yeah, that's them, in my experience, personally. It's a little creepy, or like when you get like creeped out by the water and you get like goosebumps, that's definitely probably the water shades. They're interesting, but don't be scared of them, but just, word to the wise, be nice to them, approach them with caution, as you should any spirit. You should be respectful. So one other aspect that a lot of people might disagree with, and that's okay, you can, I really don't care, but is the witch's devil. We work with the witch's devil in this tradition, and more specifically, the devil in black and the devil in green. He is the great gatekeeper of the wilds, the antlered shadow, the rock king, and the bloom king. And if you want me to kind of get all kind of into some more lore about that, I see him as cohort of the Mire Mother, and a lot of people might think that's like very Wicca, but again, this does have a lot of ties to Wicca, but it is not Wicca. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. We can explain, babes. But he is the bringer of knowledge, hidden truth, pacts, signing your name in his book in the woods, all those great things. And his black aspects are definitely more of night, sorcery in the woods, making pacts, malefic workings, death, decay. And then his green aspects are more of, bringing life, keeper of the untamed wilds, all of those animals that we see in the woods, those, bears, bucks, and just really anything, really. Him and the Mire Mother just kind of go hand in hand, but definitely two separate spirits, so do keep that in mind. I personally like to find knotted roots that are like tangled together, and I think that's a great offering for the devil in green or the devil in black, because knots can be kind of used in malefic workings, but they're also natural because roots kind of get knotted when they grow, which is kind of cool. And then rusted nails, antlers, really anything. Be creative. I don't think he'll be disappointed with anything you come up with. But I also want to read a poem that I wrote in one of my other books, The Witch of Sycamore Hollow, this is the ballad to the witch's devil. So I have my computer right here, so I'm going to read it to you. I did write it myself. Beneath the hills where shadows stretch, where roots and bones entwine, our devil waits in cloaks of black, his horns of twisted vine. At crossroads cut through furrowed fields, the pact is made in dust. With bloodied hands the witch shall kneel, a blasphemous pact made in sacred trust. In green he haunts the summer rains, a stag with wild eyes. His voice commands the growing grain, where corn and hemlock rise. He stalks the caves where echoes call, and rivers carve the stone. He is the verdant lord of all, where earth and flesh are sown. In crimson red his chaos unfurls, a storm upon the open plain. His steps ignite the wheat's dry curls, and scorch the farmer's gain. The coven gathers in the ash with sacred wine and cursed bread, to chant their blasphemy at last, a feast of infernal dread. In gold he illuminates with the pious heart, with coin and gilded schemes, the priestess's voice and merchant's art, both serve his golden dreams. He shines from farm silos in dawn, the harvest held in chains, to bargain here before has gone, but revel in his gains. I kind of ate with that, I'm not even going to lie. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, because the devil isn't just limited to green and black. We have the devil in gold, the devil in black, the devil in red, the devil in green, And he can be worked with in those different aspects. And if you guys are interested, I can definitely make a video over my what I think of the different versions of the Witch's Devil. I think it's a really hot topic in the Tradcraft community right now, for sure. The last thing I'm going to share with you, I'm going to close my computer, is some of the house and hearth spirits that I work with, which I'm actually really excited about. I'm just going to give you about 2 or 3 examples in how I work with them. So the first one is spiders. Obviously, in my practice, spiders are definitely protectors of the hearth. You know, they eat prey, but they also are great for learning patience. Spiders wait in their webs. They don't go chasing prey. They wait in their webs until it comes. So in my opinion, seeing spiders in your home can be a sign of you need to learn patience, but also a sign of protection. For sure. And sometimes when you see a spider and it disappears, and sometimes their web is left behind. So in my opinion, it's okay to take that web as long as the spider's gone. Don't destroy their webs, guys. But then you can use that in workings and weaving magic and working with fate. There's so many aspects. Another great house spirit that I like to work with, sorry, my cat is going insane behind me, she's crazy, is house centipedes, which a lot of people think they're really scary, but they're actually very beneficial, and they keep a lot of pests out of your house, and they're very, very important. I consider them great protectors of the hearth and silent watchers, and I feel like when I see them out from the shadows, I feel like it's almost like a warning, like I need to do something. Kind of like maybe I'm under assault, maybe I'm not, maybe I need to do some divination. Especially because like the other day I had one crawl across my foot, and it was the weirdest thing ever, but they are so cool. And another thing I want to touch on is that your hearth is a part of your practice, your house. I don't care if it's an apartment. I don't care if it's a cardboard box under 465 in Indianapolis. I don't care if it's a cottage. I don't care if you're wherever you're at. That is your place. That is your hearth. It doesn't have to be grander. It doesn't have to be elaborate and great. But it is essentially where you spend a lot of your time. And it's a valid and important part of your practice. And getting to know your hearth as a living and breathing entity incorporating different aspects of hearth magic into your home, taking care of your house, cleansing, banishing, warding, all those different aspects. In my practice, I can't tell you specifically the spirit just because it's a personal thing, but she definitely is one of my threshold spirits, and I consider her the power of this house and an ancestral guardian, and I work with her every day, and it's fantastic. So I definitely encourage everyone to practice some hearth magic, whether that's kitchen magic, just taking care of your house, and cleansing, protecting, warding, treating it as a living, breathing entity, and I think that's very important. And again, I'm sorry that this video might be a little bit longer, for sure. But I really enjoyed making this video, and I'm so glad that you all are here to watch it, and I hope that you like and subscribe. See you guys.